Sustainable housing, insulation, installation, investigation. That's a bit of a mouthful, but before we ask the question, what is the best insulation, we should probably be asking, what is insulation? Insulation is all about temperature control. In a house with good insulation, on a cold, chilly day, you'll be able to warm up your house on the inside, turn off that heating, and have it linger in that comfy range of temperatures for longer, no matter what's happening with the air outside. And in just the same way, during a hot day, you'll be able to cool the inside of your house and have it stay nice and cool for longer, even as the day is heating up. So let's get into our investigation to find out the answer to what is the best insulation. Let's take a look to make sure we've got all of the materials we need. 1 cube, different types of insulation panels. I'm using a piece of cardboard, some insulating foil, and a piece of wool. You'll also need a temperature sensor panel, a contact temperature sensor, cables, a data logger, a power supply, a lamp, that's our sun, and you'll need a template to place the lamp at the right distance from the cube. Okay, I've got my first test piece of insulation in place, and now it's time to do the experiment. To run this investigation, I'm going to have the lamp on for 5 minutes and note the temperature every 30 seconds on my tablet. Okay, so that is one type of insulation tested. The cardboard is done, but now I've got to switch this out for some other insulation and do that experiment all over again. But while I do that, why don't you check in on Corey and see what other stories he has to share.
Hi everyone, this here is Sustainable Housing 101 for bees. This here is a native beehive, and what the bees do is they suck up a little bit of mud and they all come and they build this really sustainable nest. And this hive is actually many of layers. It's all just mud and you can break it up in your hands like this. And the queen would be right down the bottom here. She'll be right inside and you can see all these little passages. And the reason why this nest is this shape and is made out of these materials is because here in Camaragal country, it gets pretty hot. So you need to have a sustainable house, but also in winter it gets pretty cold. So it's insulated to keep it nice and cool in summer and warm in winter. And the bees are in there doing what they do, making honey. How deadly is that?
Okay, it's my favourite moment, the moment of truth. It's time to take a look at the results and see if we can find out an answer to our question, which is the best insulation? The mark of good insulation is the ability to keep a constant temperature. So we can see the winner of Best Insulation Award goes to this one, who only gained 0.2 degrees Celsius during the experiment and kept a constant temperature even after the heat was off. What did you think? Was that what you expected? Now, if you try this experiment yourself, chances are you might have some results that are different to mine. What could be different? Well, maybe your cardboard piece was thicker than mine or even thinner than mine, meaning that there's a difference in the amount of airspace in between the two layers. Cardboard can get pretty thick, even as thick as this, so you can imagine that would lead to a big difference in insulation. Now, another thing you might have found is that the piece of wool you're using, is it pure wool? Is it something that's mixed with something else, another type of fibre that might have less insulating properties? There's a lot of variation in different types of insulation, and so there is a lot of difference in what you might find in your own investigations. Now, if we all cut down on the amount we have to heat or cool our house because it stays a comfy temperature inside for longer, no matter the weather outside, then that's going to save energy. So this is a big reason why insulation is your friend if you're trying to make a sustainable house.